Since it began in 1954, the Guinness Book of World Records has been documenting the world records both achieved by people and nature. Since then, tens of thousands of records have been published in their annual volumes, with records ranging from obvious ones like tallest man to as obscure as most toilet seats broken by the head in 1 minute. That one is held by Kevin Shelley from the US, by the way. Sometimes, though, world record attempts don't always go to plan, some ending completely in disaster. You're watching Top Trending, and today we're counting down some world record attempts that went badly. Also, content warning. Some of the footage shown during numbers 6 and 4 are graphic. At number 10, we have a firewalk record attempt that took place in Dunedin, New Zealand. In 2004, Dr. John Campbell organized his 46th firewalk event, with people walking on the fire pit around 600 times. Participants were warned their skin could blister, usually where the skin was thinnest under the arches and toes. The ideal amount of steps to get across the fire pit was 4, but the length of the fire pit was 3.5 meters instead of 3 meters, something Dr. Campbell only found out on the day of the walk. Needless to say, it didn't go well, or it wouldn't be in this video. 28 of the participants in the attempt had to go to the hospital to be treated for burns, with 11 of the participants having to be brought to accident and emergency. In response to the hospitalization of quite a few participants, Dr. Campbell, who was using the event to expose charlatans who try to earn money by claiming to teach the mind control needed to walk over charcoal, said that never before had so many people been taken to the hospital, continuing by saying, "I think the rules were written by people who hadn't any involvement in firewalking." Number 9 is the attempt for most rubber bands on a watermelon. According to the Mirror in 2016, 2 men from China attempted to fit more than 700 elastic bands around a watermelon over the course of an hour, while live streaming the whole thing. The result was seen by several 100,000 people until it exploded on the 728th elastic band. Here's where it went really wrong. The rind of the watermelon during the explosion flew into the face of one of the 2 men, who had to take a visit to the hospital, sporting an incredibly swollen face. The failure on stream made the man an internet sensation, with the video of his failure being viewed over 1 million times in China. At number 8, we have a failure for the world's biggest popsicle attempt. In 2005, the drinks company Snapple attempted to break the record for a publicity stunt, getting together a 35,000-pound, 25-foot-tall popsicle in New York. The problem was the requirement for the record to be accepted was the popsicle had to be able to stand upright, and before the crane had a chance to haul the popsicle up, it began to melt all over 17th Street, and the record ultimately wasn't accepted. The temperature of the popsicle didn't seem like it was going to be a problem, with the core of the popsicle being minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit while being prepared, and being transferred in a freezer truck of around minus 15 degrees. Either way, Snapple haven't managed to break their attempts since. At number 7, we have the record attempt made by the town of Penzance in Cornwall, UK, for most people dressed as pirates in one location. In 2015, over 14,000 people gathered in pirate fancy dress to attempt to set the new record, but the gathering was just 77 people short of breaking the record, according to the Mail Online. The real record that's been in place for the last 6 years was set by Hastings, with 14,231 pirates gathering together, organized by one Roger Crouch. This would be a shame in itself, until you realize that the Penzance Council spent 56,056 pounds sterling on this record attempt, including 5,000 for the Guinness World Records team and 6,000 for health and safety alone. The actual budget for the event was just 20,000 pounds, prompting the council to launch an investigation into the causes of the massive overspend. At number 6, we have the record attempt by Sailendra Nath Roy, an Indian man who attempted to set the record for farthest distance traveled on a zipline using hair. In March 2011, Sailendra set the initial world record for 82.5 meters, but the failure we're talking about occurred in April 2013, when he attempted to travel down a zipline near the Teesta River. Unfortunately, his hair became stuck in the rope's wheeler halfway through his attempt, and he was left hanging for 25 minutes. Sailendra suffered a heart attack while suspended, and unfortunately didn't manage to make it, dying at 49 years old. At number 5, we have an interesting one. On Dutch TV show Ik Weet Dat Ik Het Kan, roughly translated as I Bet I Can, a man attempted to break 20 watermelons with his head in 2 minutes to break the world record, and as you can see, failed dramatically on national TV. According to the man's friend on Reddit, from what his brother told me, they brought 60 of which we could select 20. Then instead of using the 20 he selected, they discarded those and selected 20 others. That's why he failed, and they didn't tell him. Don't know if they did that on purpose for show business reasons or something. The response to the post on the subreddit Idiots Fighting Things was largely comical, with a reply to that saying was he mad, receiving no, just concussed in return. At number 4, we have a record attempt for breaking glass that ended in a broken neck. Jesus Half-Animal Villa is an acrobat by trade, having performed in several thousand Cirque du Soleil shows and having an inclusion in the 2008 Beijing Olympics opening ceremony. On the 12th of July 2013, he attempted to jump through 10 panes of glass as his 7th world record attempt, and was caught on camera as he broke his neck in several places whilst attempting to jump through the glass panes, initially to laughs from the onlookers. Jesus crowded his medical bills after the stunt took place, writing, "Breaking every vertebrae up and down my spine and surviving the 14-hour operation I went through 4 months ago has left me traumatized. My life has been completely altered, but I'm still standing." Writing on his Facebook, "I can't express how much your thoughts mean to me. Thank you all so much for the love." At number 3, we have the record for most miles run on a treadmill, or at least the failure of it. In 2016, Amy Hughes from Cheshire in the UK attempted to break the record for most miles run on a treadmill in a week, setting up her machine in the Trafford Centre. Over the course of the week, Amy jogged 520 miles, 3 miles more than the record set before her attempt. As you're probably expecting, it didn't go exactly to plan. Amy was told her struggle wouldn't be recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records, as her boyfriend Dave Cayley recorded the challenge and wasn't viewed as an independent witness by Guinness standards, stating that any individual recording a record attempt should be neither affiliated with nor related to the individual attempting the record. Amy Hughes later said, "After 7 days of ultimate hell, pain, and complete exhaustion, and then 10 months of waiting, Guinness World Records have declined my record. I'm devastated, heartbroken, and so angry." With 24 hours live footage, videos recording all the key milestones, thousands of witnesses, an hourly log of mileage, breaks, and sleep time, it's still not enough. Understandably, Amy was upset, and according to Guinness site currently, Amy's run still hasn't been accepted, as Sharon Gator, also from the UK, holds the record at 517 miles. At number 2, we have the longest sandwich debacle. In 2008, Iranian cooks assembled to try to create the ultimate sandwich, measuring 1,500 meters in length, with 1,400 kilograms of both ostrich and chicken meat, to display in the capital of Iran, Tehran. The sandwich was assembled successfully, but things fell apart as the sandwich was being measured. The audience spectating the whole event started eating the sandwich before the measuring was up. The entire world record attempt was gone in a matter of minutes, quickly disposing of the 1,000 chefs' hard work. The event was organized by Tehran's Women's Committee, along with individual ostrich farmers, to help encourage a cultural appetite for ostrich, a meat healthier than other meats mainly used in Iran. Considering the failure of the record, it seems like they might have just succeeded on that front. For an honorable mention before we get to our number 1 entry on the list, we wanted to point out that BuzzFeed ended up setting a record back in 2013 for the most number of world record failures in a minute, with the performer messing up 16 distinct records in 1 minute. Some of the categories included highest ollie, longest didgeridoo note, and fastest time to fit in a box. I guess whether it's a fail or not is up for debate, as BuzzFeed managed to successfully get the record, but we figured we'd include it as one of the best places to find as many condensed world record failures as possible. Finally, at number 1, we have Balloon Fest 86. Balloon Fest 86 was an event set in Cleveland, Ohio, in which United Way managed to set a world record for the most amount of balloons released at once. This is the only attempt over the course of the list that actually achieved the record aside from number 9, but the failure is in what happened next. The 1.5 million balloons, released as part of a fundraising publicity stunt, drifted back over the city of Cleveland, causing major delays for road and air travel. Some aftermath of the event included horses being frightened and subsequently injured on a pasture in Medina County, whose owner ended up suing the charity. The balloons descended onto Lake Erie, covering the water and interfering with the United States Coast Guard's search for 2 sailors, who unfortunately were later found to have drowned, and Ontario residents finding thousands of deflated balloons all over their area. The organizers of the stunt faced lawsuits for several $1 million, including the wife of one of the fishermen who died as a result of the stunt, who sued United Way of Cleveland for $3.2 million and later settled for undisclosed terms. Balloon Fest 86 is a good example of what happens when you forget that what goes up must come down.
If you liked our video, then please like, comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching.